Nigerians are on the brink of enjoying a more affordable and environmentally friendly transportation system as the federal government officially rolls out an innovative initiative to ease mobility challenges. In a significant milestone, the government has launched and handed over compressed natural gas buses to commercial operators, targeting key routes within the Federal Capital Territory. This move is part of a broader strategy to address the pressing issues of high transportation costs and environmental degradation. Introduction of these CNG buses is expected to bring relief to residents who have long struggled with rising transportation fares, particularly in the wake of the subsidy removal on petrol earlier in the year. By providing subsidized transportation options, the government aims to reduce the economic burden on citizens while ensuring efficient and reliable mobility across the city. In addition to affordability, the deployment of CNG buses reflects a commitment to cleaner energy solutions. Compressed natural gas is a greener alternative to petrol and diesel, producing significantly lower emissions and contributing to improved air quality. This aligns with Nigeria's goals to transition towards sustainable development and reduce its carbon footprints in line with global climate actions. The program also underscores the federal government's dedication to fostering public-private partnerships in the transportation sector. By working closely with commercial operators, the government ensures the seamless integration of the CNG buses into the existing transportation network, maximizing their reach and impact. This initiative is set to transform public transportation within the FCT and could serve as a model for other states. It raises important questions about sustainability, accessibility, and the overall future of mass transit in Nigeria. On Nigeria Today, we will be discussing this landmark achievement, exploring its potential impact on the economy, the environment, and the daily lives of Nigerians, as we will also examine challenges that may arise in its implementation and how they can be addressed to ensure the success of the transformative project. I'm Dennis Adigunloye. Welcome to the program. All right, with me in the studio to discuss this topic is Inuwa Biliaminu Dan Borgu, CNG Coordinator, and NIT Abuja Liaison Officer, representing the DG NIT Zaria. He operates the Abuja Conversion Center. You're very welcome to Nigeria Today.
Thank you for having me.
Welcome, sir. Also on the program, we have Ahmed Abubakar Tanimu, human rights lawyer and legal practitioner. You're also welcome to the program.
Thank you for having me.
And joining us via Zoom is Okorafor James, a public affairs analyst. You're also welcome to the program.
Thank you and good evening.
All right, let me begin with you, Biliaminu. Obviously, this is positive developments in the nation's transportation system. Just give us your take on how this will impact on transportation fares and, of course, the cleaner energy initiative that we're expecting.
Good evening, Nigerians. Nigerian Institute of Transport Technology is an institute that is on research and transportation all over the Federation, all over Nigeria and West African sub-region. I want to commend Mr. President for bringing this laudable initiative, for bringing a presidential committee on compressed natural gas. We've been working closely with this committee alongside with compressed natural gas. Then when you talk of this CNG, in fact, our organization is one of the leading organizations as far as CNG is concerned, because we have conversion centers all over the 6 geopolitical zones. And in Nigeria here we have, just like what you rightly say, government in its own wisdom, you want to bring so-called to Nigerians. So as a result of that, because most of Nigeria will not be able to afford these conversion kits. So recently, the government has gone into the commercial drivers. They gave them free of charge, free conversion. They gave them free kits which they convert their car free. And our organization are going into collaboration with so many organizations because presently Algon being closer to the grassroots. Now in the area of training, we are working closely with them. Now we are going to train. They are going to give us five participants in all the local governments. We are going to train them. This is to show you the level of how the issue of CNG is becoming known in all over the federation. When you talk of this CNG, actually, the issue of this PMS is becoming a problem to Nigerians. So as a result of this, now government is bringing this initiative because you cannot consider when you are traveling from here to Kaduna now, like my car that I'm using, it has 15 kilogram. So by the time you fill that tank with 3,800 naira, it will take you to Kaduna. That is 200 kilometers. So by so doing that, so the president bringing this initiative inside is a very good initiative because it's going to help Nigerians. So it's going to reduce the cost of the petrol. So because most of them will now shift. That's why on daily basis we are converting vehicles on daily basis. Now, statistically, when you look at statistics now, the vehicle that they converted as in Abuja alone is up to 700.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right, so let me bring in Ahmed Tangimu. Give us your perspective on this initiative. Obviously, like I said before, it's a positive development. Any issues for you that need to be further highlighted or better addressed?
Okay, I share the opinion of the last speaker and align myself with him, but I want to look at it from a more wider perspective. When you look at the quantum of intervention, we are talking of a population of growing population of more than 200 million, and we have huge rural-urban migration. Abuja as an example. If you look at the volume, the quantum in terms of accessibility and availability of these CNGs. I want to put it this way, that we like doing what is right at the wrong time, so but we can still catch up. More needs to be done. In terms of penetration, a lot of people have accepted the change because obviously we have no alternative. If you look at the cost of PMS, everybody wants to go the CNG way, but the incentives are not there. If you want to do a thing of that magnitude where you want the people is to generally key into it, because you look at when you look at it from the economic indices, you don't need a trickle. You need to go into a very wide spectrum before the impact can really trickle down to the average Nigerian. So for now, we are celebrating, but the impact is not felt. If you look at it, private sectors, and when we talk about the majority of the highest component of the economic space, it has to do with more of the private sector, people who are. So when you look at the commercial sector, has it impacted on the price of the pricing in terms of moving from the outside the city center to the business? The answer is no. The impact is yet to be felt. These are programs, initiatives that ought to have been calibrated in such a way that by now we will be feeling the impact, and naturally to have a commensurate impact in terms of demand and supply. But for now, it's at the infancy stage, and the impact is yet to be felt.
All right, James Okorafor, let's get your perspective on this. Where are you on this issue?
Okay, I believe that the government meant very well introducing CNG as a means of alternative to the petroleum spirit. But my concern is the process and the method we always adopt in integrating new things in our polity. People moving from one place to another is very important. And having in mind, these are the issues we have when the president said subsidy is gone. We were thinking that the administration would have settled down, taking their time, bring some of this kind of CNG redesigning of engines into being for some time, and not just like one we are doing now. At least take it to the rural communities and all places where everybody, because if you look at the population of Nigeria, we have all over 200 million people, and the CNG, yes, a good welcome development, but our concern has been how far-reaching is it, and how eventually a lot of commuters, transport owners, buses that are carrying people, trucks that are carrying food from one part of Nigeria to another, are able to convert their to CNG. So these are the questions we're asking. If we can be able to make it as fast as possible, because I always pass through the major city. I know there are conversion centers. I see how these vehicles are lined up waiting days to be converted. If we can open up more spaces for vehicles to convert their engines into CNG, it's a good development. It's a welcome idea. We have comparative advantage with gas. Nigeria has one of the largest gas reserves in the world, and every country should work towards what they have comparative advantage. With the CNG, I think apart from it's friendly to our atmospheric nature, and it's good for our atmosphere and the reduction of fossil fuel. I still think that we should open more conversion centers where people we shouldn't be queuing the way I see it around, to be able to get this conversion in time, to be able to carry people around the country and the city where it is supposed to be.
Okay, let me put that to Inua Bilyaminu. Obviously, there's some reservations there with regards to the spread, the reach of the initiative as it is currently. Obviously, it's still in its infancy. Just tell us, what are the processes in place to further expand this program?
Yeah, actually, like what I've said earlier, I say in the spirit of carrying all the local government along, that is why we go into partnership with ALGO. So ALGO now, we now bring people in all the local government. We train them so that they will now have a commercial center and their various respective local government. Right. So by the time we do that, at least it's going to assist people. More vehicles will be converted.
All right, in terms of the FCT, what measures are being put in place to ensure that these CNG buses are adequately deployed for the ultimate benefits of commuters?
Our organization is a research institution. We are not into private sector.
Okay.
We are a research institute. So we offer training, then we convert vehicles. So I think that question will better be do, if I may comment, the effort that will be put in place is to make these vehicles affordable to everybody, so that Nigerians will be able to afford these CNG buses. Then in terms of maintenance, they should be able to maintain it when it has any fault. So these are the only...
And in terms of the actual process of converting, I mean, this is digressing a little, converting petrol vehicles to the CNG gas cylinder, how does the process?
Yeah, the process is that there are cylinders, and cylinder is of various categories. So depending on the type of vehicle you want to convert, then there is a conversion kit. Okay. So this kit will be mounted at the front of the vehicle. Then the cylinder will be put at the back. So then there is going to be wiring component. Right. So that now the fueling of the CNG will be at the front. Then it will go to the cylinder at the back, depending on the nature of the cylinder.
Okay. And in terms of concerns that some members of the public may have with regards to a gas cylinder in their car, what can you say to alleviate these concerns?
The gas cylinder is bulletproof.
Right.
It's secure. In terms of security, it's okay. What is happened to it? If you could remember, some time ago they said there is one gas explosion of the cylinder, and I have the belief that cylinder is fabricated, because the cylinder is not the real cylinder; it's fabricated. So the cylinder, in terms of safety, is very secure.
All right, Ahmed Tanimu, just give us your perspectives on another positive side of this with regards to reducing carbon emissions and promoting cleaner energy. What can you say to this aspect?
The CNG is a better alternative to fossil fuel in terms of being environmentally friendly. But the challenge, as we have all noted, is that the impact in terms of wider acceptability, wider spread. Every Nigerian, with the hardship that we are going through, every Nigerians are ready to convert, even the rich are ready to convert their vehicle. But I thought, as a demonstration to give people the confidence that we want to see government vehicles, we want to see vehicles of our senators, of our House of Rep, of those in the helm of affairs. We want to see them using vehicles have been converted. Is when you preach what you are doing, it's easier for people to adopt. Now we have a situation where a lot of Nigerians are interested, but it's not affordable. If you go to the various private centers, you'll be talking of range of within the range of 800 to a million naira, and for some it's even as high as affording a new car. And anytime you go to any of the conversion center, you see cars being queued up 10, 20, and they tell you to stay for weeks. So when you look at all those challenges, I believe that the presidential initiative need to do more. Apart from having commercial buses, effort too should be for those that are using it for private purposes, so that the impact now can now be felt. If I can spend 3,000 instead of about 40,000 to go to fuel my vehicle to go to Kaduna, it will increase economic activities. Those that are having farms, village market in other rural areas, there will be more of interaction. If you look at the volume of mobility as substantially reducing even in the city center, and those engaged, and that is what is having a commensurate impact in the high cost of living. So everybody will want to increase. So since we know that the petroleum sector has a very fast reaching consequences on all our economic activity, the CNG will be a very viable alternative in boosting the economic activity. And you see, it means government needs to give it more attention than what we are seeing today.
All right, Mr. James, obviously the theme that we're getting in this discussion is that we need a wider reach, but just give us your own take on the federal government's proactiveness in regards to reduction of fossil fuels and carbon emissions, and going along with global practices, best practices with regards to safeguarding the environment. What can you say?
I think Nigeria government needs to be a little bit systemic. I'm a student of systemic adaptive systems. I believe that we should cascade the designs and what is a priority for us. Now, I think that the government should engage stakeholders. We have some car manufacturers here in Nigeria. Instead of going the long way of conversion, I think we should begin to look at how the car manufacturers should begin to produce adaptive car engine that will naturally come with gas, CNG gas cylinders, or just built on CNG. Then also, we should pay more emphasis on the haulage. Like I was so happy on my way through I think to Bagwalada, I saw a lot of trucks that convey cement, that convey food into the state capital, and all those big trucks being converted. Because when you reduce those trucks, when you work on those trucks and you have the trucks getting CNG, the cost of cement, the cost of items, moving things from one point of the country to another will be reduced. Also, that's why what Tenimu was saying, let's, as you're talking about working with argon, when we work with argon, let's also look at the articulate vehicles like the tractor that farm, the vehicles that bring food from all the rural communities. If we can power them with CNG, it will really crash the price of foodstuff. Look at all the implements and equipment they use in farming. So I'm looking at a far-reaching stakeholder engagement, a systemic approach, a more broader spectrum that will include a lot of people who contribute to the economy and also the macroeconomics of the country. So let us be looking at penetrating with this CNG stuff with all the energy needs of those rural areas. I think if we work with people like the Innocents, the Mechanos, and quite a number of other automobile industries, we'll begin to make vehicles that can take those things and can work with CNG, and it will be better for our economy.
Mr. Bilyaminu, talking about pricing model for the CNG buses, what measures can be adopted to ensure that the transportation service remains affordable yet sustainable going forward?
Well, to my own opinion, the method can be adopted It's already the government have started doing something on the issue of the CNG. And CNG is now becoming alternative to PMS. Because it's not, because of the, since the advent of, since the increase of the price of petroleum, in fact, Nigerians cannot afford, most of them have even kept their car at home. So I live with the introduction of this president is a very good initiative. So I think that I want Nigerians to abide by it so that they now follow suit. The issue of this PMS has become alternative way to this thing because it is very, in terms of cost, it's very cheap because it's 230 naira per kg when you compare to petroleum. So with the introduction of this CNG, at least Nigerians are going to get it right by the time they attend to it.
All right, and what would be the key performance indicators to show that governments and stakeholders are succeeding in this initiative? What kind of factors are we going to be looking out for?
Yeah, the factor we are going to look at that the key performance indicator that the governors are succeeding is like because of the patronage. Because by the time you see now Nigerians are on daily basis, we keep on converting vehicles, even in our centers here. There is no day that will not convert vehicles. So that is to tell you that Nigerians are becoming aware when it comes to CNG. So.
And are you doing anything in terms of further sensitization?
Yeah.
You know, we've been talking about wider reach of this project, this initiative.
That is why I'm telling you that we now at it is now.
Yeah.
Many Nigerians want themselves to be trained because we are also training institute.
Right.
So that by the time we train them, they can also go and train others.
All right, Mr. Abubakar, I was just talking about potential negative impact with regards to such things as vandalism, misuse and poor management of these CNG buses. What would be your words of advice, let's say, to governments and relevant stakeholders in ensuring proper maintenance of these CNG buses?
It's not, there's no gainsaying that CNG has been in use in other advanced climate like in Brazil, in other climate. So bringing it here in Nigeria is just for the experts, like those from the institute, to be able to synthesize a lot of Nigerians that is safe, and people should not make the attempt of getting lower quality kits, and that is the more reason those kits should be made available. Then there's another aspect that we are not looking at in the accessibility of point to be able to get the CNG. It should be made available. Most filling stations should be giving incentive. This is a serious economic drive that the government must push, and for them to do, they should collaborate with the various private sector. Those gas stations along the way, they should and give them incentives so that they should have where people can now refill their accessories. I know if I'm going to Kaduna on the way, and when I get to Kaduna, I will have a safe spot that has been certified by the relevant regulatory agencies, that I will get quality, and we should equally, since it's new, that fear of adulteration, either in terms of the kit, in terms of even the CNG itself, are factors that Nigerians are wary about. So we need assurances from the agencies of government and all stakeholders. It's a big concept that every stakeholder should be on board and everybody should be carried along. And the impact for now, as I said, is because it's too expensive. A private person, you cannot go and do a CNG in your car if you don't have at least 800,000. So it's something that they should look into the pricing, and I know it has a direct impact based on the fluctuation of exchange rate. So the government should be thinking of even establishing centers that should be providing those kits in Nigeria.
Absolutely. All right, Mr. James, just to give us your closing remarks on this. I know what you've said about the potential for further reach and expansion, but just give us any more positives you can take out of this laudable project.
Okay, I think the laudable project is in the hands of the government to really orientate people of what the end point is. And I don't think the government has done enough in the orientation and the enlightenment. Yeah, there's still the people, the elites that know about the CNG. I think they should hype it a little bit and explain the benefits, and because there are a lot of counter narratives, and I think the government should own it. And I also feel that the government is making it look as if it's a trial. It's not a trial. It is a research sound. It is something that has been used in Brazil, in India, and in other third world, other Asian tiger countries that are using CNG. It's a good technology, and I endorse it as a person. But my concern is how much of orientation, how much of government owning it to reach, as Tenimu was saying. I drive along filling stations. I don't see CNG fuel pump or gas pump. So we begin to make it look as if we are on trial, as in we are still trial state. But it is a full-blown technology that is in use. And government should be able to create subsidy, because you see, government cannot run away from subsidy. If you are going to ask stations or private concerns, you give them bailouts, you give them funds to install such gas pumps in various locations. When people begin to see it and see it's far-reaching, and it's becoming a government thing, then you could see the mass participation, and people will begin to buy into the idea.
All right, Mr. James Okorafor, Public Affairs Analyst, many thanks for sharing your thoughts and perspectives on this initiative. Thank you. Thanks also to Abubakar Ahmed Tanimu, human rights lawyer and legal practitioner. Many thanks for your perspectives.
Thank you for having me. Always a delight being here.
All right, you're welcome. And also thanks to Inuwa Bilyaminu, CNG coordinator, and NITS Abuja.
Thank you. I'm
his
delighted
officer.
being here.
Good to have you on the program.
Thank you very much.
And thank you for watching and always being a part of the program. Remember, Nigeria Today is weekdays live at 7:30 p.m. on NTA News 24. You can also watch this, repeat of this at 10 this evening, as well as other episodes on youtube.com/NTA News 24 Hub. I am Dennis Adegunloye. Do have a wonderful weekend.